Riding and making motorcycles is like programming and executing code. So when KTM said that they are coming out with the sharpest handling street motorcycle ever, we couldn't resist but to take it for a quick beta run. And what better than the United Arab Emirates, where the orange Austrians would perfectly match up with the rustic environment that goes with it.
Right, so from the Rolls Royce, I'm dropping 1 hour down and 2 wheels down because today I'm in a motorcycle suit instead of a gentleman suit. So vehicle number 6 on this thing, which I call the MotoGrapher Power 2 2019, is actually going to be a motorcycle, and it's this color. So we have the KTM 790. And along with that is the big daddy of all dukes. I'm not talking about the ones in England, I'm talking about the ones which are made in Austria. The Super Duke is also here. I don't know why this is in black. This should have been actually in orange. But I've got another thing up my sleeve. I mean, literally. So this bag is an awesome customization of the Carbonado bag. And this thing which you see here, this is actually not a sticker. This is Luminol paint, and it's going to light up. And you know, Dubai heat is terrible. So my friend Shutter Bedi and his helmet, this beautiful looking Axor helmet, has been accessorized by something called a blue snap. This is actually a motorcycle air conditioning system, and it's also with a tinge of orange on the grill to match the KTMs. It is actually, you know, if you switch it on, see, you can see, and I can actually literally feel the cool air. Wow, so this is not bad. So let's go. So all this tech is made in India. This one, the bag, and except this one. And one more thing, this thing. We have got the Rhinox bags. So increasingly we are using stuff which is actually made in India, conceptualized in India. That is the most important thing, you know. So let's go. So guys, welcome. And as you can see, the sand is crossing the road, and it literally looks like that it wants us to stop here so that it can have a look at these two amazing motorcycles that we have here. And I'm telling you that the one on my right is actually one of the fastest and most powerful nakeds in the world. It's got 177 horsepower and it's 1300 cc. That is the KTM Super Duke 1290 for you. But on the left is actually the 790 Duke, and they've done a lot of homework on the table before they actually set out the tone of the motorcycle. that this will be. They had called it the scalpel. The scalpel is, as you know, it's a tool for precision cutting, and they wanted the motorcycle to be like a scalpel, especially in the corners. And the teaser that they released, in that we saw that guy riding this motorcycle precisely on the same line every time, a couple of times I think around the track, if I remember correctly. Now that it's here, we are actually riding it in Dubai, in UAE, and it's literally blown me off. All my expectations have been exceeded, because this is actually has been made for carving corners on a naked. As far as the looks are concerned, this looks a little bit like the KTM Duke 390 from up front, but from the side it's quite high, especially the high upswept exhaust, which gives it a more of a super motard kind of a look. And talking about super motard, you can actually probably do stuff which you can do with a super motard on this, because it's also got a mode, I think it's called the motard or something like that, in which it switches off the rear ABS while leaving the front ABS on, so you can slide and do whatever, you know, tricks limited by your skill with this motorcycle. But coming back to the motorcycle, and let's talk about the engine, which is the most important part. The KTM has actually gone the inline twin way with this. The predecessor for this was a 690, which was a single cylinder.
I had a chance of riding the KTM 690 Duke in Thailand in 2016. This bike has a 690cc liquid-cooled single cylinder and was producing around 73 horsepower. It was enough, but not too much, and that is where the 790 Duke comes in.
This one is an inline twin, but with a V-twin character, because it's got an uneven firing order, and the sound also is quite healthy and welcoming. Let me actually switch on the bike and make you listen to it. So you can probably hear right now, it doesn't sound like an inline twin, and it's quite interesting. So that also, the uneven firing order, it also gives it more agility, more usable power in corners compared to an inline twin. And it's more than a complete package, because they've gone all out with electronics. It's got ABS, cornering ABS, it's got traction control, different modes of riding. It's also got something called a motor traction control or something like that, which means that the engine actually helps you deaccelerate in a proper manner when you are coming into a corner, and it helps you prevent wheel lockage. So that is something which is also there in this bike, but which is something which is not there, surprisingly, is our adjustable suspensions. They've got WPs, which is top of the line KT units that are standard on KTMs, but they haven't got adjustable. The ride is actually on the stiffer side, and it's very good for good roads, cornering, and absolutely it must be good on the racing track. But if you hit a bad patch, gravel road, I think you might be required to stand. So the next question is whether it's good for touring or not. Let me tell you that there is no reason why it shouldn't be. Maybe a little bit higher handlebar would help, and of course you can find brackets to put your side panniers and tank bags and tail bags and whatever you want. And whenever the corners come, you can be faster than most of the motorcycles on the road. It doesn't matter if it's a 1000cc. I think a good rider will be faster on this rather than on the Super Duke 1290, because here it's got an insane amount of power, 177 horsepower, which is frankly telling you very scary on a naked, while this is 105 horsepower, which might seem quite less, but the way it uses power and the way the motorcycle handles is what actually matters. I'm not saying that a Super Duke does not handle well, I'm just saying it's too powerful. Well, so now we are here in Dubai and we've got some more riding left. We are enjoying to the fullest, and these bikes are so cool that I'm actually not feeling that hot that I should be feeling under this sun. So, catch you back on the road.
Yes, yes. Step by step, we will come to. Okay. Can I pull over on the side? Yeah, no problem. Just pull over.
What has happened?
No, he said just wait for 5 minutes, then you can go.
Oh.
Some serious movie.
Don't worry, guys, we were not stopped by police for speeding. Rather, there was a movie shoot which was going on, as you will find out shortly. In fact, this region is a favorite with a lot of cinematographers and people from around the world because of the rustic feel, the sand dunes, and the isolation, and of course, the proximity at the same time to a highly developed city like Dubai. So not only this region is famous with cinematographers and photographers, but also motoring enthusiasts, especially car owners who come here regularly to do a drive or do high-speed runs and stuff like that. And not everyone is mad as us being on two wheels under the scorching sun. Almost 300 kilometers under the scorching sun. This is a testimony to the fact that these two motorcycles motivated us enough to do this, especially in the middle of a desert. And if a motorcycle is good, the road actually doesn't matter. Of course, we would have preferred a lot more corners, but this wasn't too bad either. And we are definitely looking to ride both of these bikes even more. Probably Europe,